How are you? Monday, July 29th, 2024. I'm covering Stan Musial's 22-year career. His stats, his box scores, and his accomplishments. I'm looking at every game he played. I'm analyzing the seasons. How did he perform in the game of baseball? This video, 1954 season, what a year. He did something remarkable that was only matched by one other guy in Major League history. I will get to that. First, his 1954 season, he played 153 games. Every game of that year. 591 at bats. He bats .330. His career batting average was .331. So he had 195 hits, 120 runs scored. That's very good. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. His 11th season in a row, 100 or more runs scored. 120. He had 41 doubles, 9 triples, 35 homers. That's up from the 30 he hit the year before. 1 stolen base. That's the one critique on Stan Musial. He did not steal bases in his career that much. He only had 78 in 22 years. 103 walks. Pitchers are afraid of him. If you get 100 walks in a season, that means pitchers are very careful pitching to you. Only 39 strikeouts. How about that? 591 at bats, and he struck out 39 times. He's a contact hitter. .330 batting average, .428 on base, .607 slugging. If you slug 500, you're good. 600 means you're very, very good. 359 total bases. This guy, you can count on him on 300 or more total bases. He had 400 one year, 429 and 429 total bases in 1948. That was his high. But this becomes the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. His 10th season, 300 or more total bases. And one of the seasons was 400 or more. He ended up with 6,134 total bases. All right, 1954 season. Had a hitting streak. His best hitting streak was 11 games. He had 66 multi-hit games, 2 or more hits, 66 times. 49 two-hit games, 14 three-hit games. He had 23 2 runs scored in a game. 23 games, 2 runs scored. 7 games, 3 runs scored. He had 22 2 RBI games. No, I'm sorry. He had 13 2 RBI games. 9 3 RBI games. 5 4 RBI games. And then he had 1 6 RBI game. And he had 1 7 RBI game. That was his high. 7 RBIs in one game. He did it in the 1954 season. But I told you that he did something that only one other player has done in Major League history. Stan Musial came to the park on May 2nd, 1954, and played a doubleheader. You want to know what he did in the first game? He had 4 at-bats, 3 runs, 4 hits, 6 RBIs. But out of the 4 hits was 3 homers and a single. Okay, not bad for the first game. 3 homers and a single. 4 hits, 6 RBIs, 3 runs scored. So he takes a break. Same day, May 2nd, 1954. He comes to the plate and gets 4 at-bats, 3 runs scored again. So that's 6 runs scored in one game. Or in one day. Not one game, one day. 2 games, 1 game. Doubleheader. He gets 2 more hits and gets 3 RBIs. But the 2 hits were 2 more home runs. So in the first game, he hits 3 homers. Second game, he hits 2 more. That's 5 home runs in one day. And he has 3 RBIs. So 6 RBIs in the first game, 3 RBIs in the second game, 9 RBIs for the day. 9 RBIs. So what a day at the plate. He had 6 hits, 9 RBIs, 5 homers, 6 runs scored. May 2nd, 1954. That was the first time in Major League history that a ball player, Major League history, not minor leagues and not the other leagues, Major League professional baseball history, the first time that a player hit 5 home runs in one day. There are a lot of guys that hit 4 homers in a game, one game. Stan Musial didn't hit 4 in one game. He hit 3 in the first game and he hit 2 in the second. It would have been interesting if those guys who had hit 4 homers in one game, if they had played a doubleheader that game. The second game, would they have gotten their 5th, maybe even 6th homer of the day? Didn't happen. In fact, all those guys who played and got 4 homers in one game, I don't think they played a doubleheader that day. But Stan Musial on May 2nd played a doubleheader and hit 5 home runs in one day. First time, May 2nd, 1954. Major League history started 1870s, whenever it was, and up to the present, 2024. Only 2 guys have performed the feat of 5 homers in one day. And the other guy, Nate Colbert. You've heard of him, right? Nate Colbert of the San Diego Padres. He did something remarkable, and he outperformed Stan Musial. So I'm punching in Nate Colbert right now. Here it is. Nate Colbert, 5 homers. Okay. Here it is. This was done by Nate Colbert. Let's see here. I'm going to accept the cookies. Listen to this. You want to hear about history? On August 1st, 1972. So Stan Musial, May 2nd, 1954. August 1st, 1972. What is that? 54 to 72. 64, 70. That's 18 years later. Nate Colbert plays a doubleheader. You know what he said? He said the night before he didn't sleep very well. Kind of tossed and turned all night, but still came to the park. And I'm going to read what he did. Okay. So in game 1, he went 4 for 5, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. Okay. And then in game 2, he hit 3 homers and had 8 RBIs. He outperformed Stan Musial. Remember I told you Stan had 9 RBIs for the day. Nate Colbert had 5 RBIs in the first game, 8 RBIs in the second game, for a total of 13 RBIs in one day. Incredible. 5 homers, 13 RBIs. Now there's 2 guys that have gotten 12 RBIs in one game. Colbert didn't do that. It took him 2 games to get to the 13. But Nate Colbert is the only person in Major League history to have 13 RBIs in one day. I'm not talking about the game, but one day. A doubleheader. The other two guys that had 12 RBIs in one game, Jim Botley did it, 12 RBIs, and a guy named Mark Whitten had 12 RBIs in one game. Too bad those guys didn't play a doubleheader that day. What would they have done in game two? How about Nate Colbert, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs for the day? He called his dad and said, "Hey, did you hear about what I did today?" His dad said, I knew you could do it. Way to go, son. So how about Stan the Man Musial? May 2nd, 1954. 5 home runs, 9 RBIs. And Nate Colbert, August 1st, 1972. 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. Both of them did it in one day. Props to them. How come nobody else has gotten 5 homers in one day yet? Or again, like the third time. Nobody can do it. Now, guys have hit 4 homers in one game. I think there's like, what, 20, 21 guys who have done it. I like to see a guy hit 5 homers in one game. Can that be done? I haven't seen it yet. In fact, Major League Baseball is still waiting. 1870s until 2024. It's over 150 years, right? We still have not seen anybody hit 5 home runs in one game. But we have seen 2 guys hit 5 home runs in one day. Doubleheader. Stan the Man Musial and Nate Colbert. Props to them. All right, that covers 1954 for Stan the Man Musial. Next video, 1955. Talk to you all later. Respectfully, I'm out.